A long time ago, in the city of Enugu, a dark-skinned lady walked into a company for a job interview, unaware that one small act of kindness towards a disgraced old man would unlock a chain of events that would change her life, shake the company's foundation, and steal the heart of a powerful CEO. The sun blazed hot over the city of Enugu that Tuesday morning as Chimamanda Nwokoye stood outside the glass entrance of Blossy Global Enterprises, nervously clutching her file jacket. Her dark skin glistered in the light, her natural hair packed neatly in a low bun, and her wine-colored blouse hugged her figure just right, professional yet graceful. She whispered to herself, Chima, this is your chance. Maka mama, maka papa, maka all the sacrifices. She took a deep breath and stepped into the building, her heels clicking lightly on the tiled floor. Just by the reception, a commotion caught her attention. A elderly man with a crooked walking stick stood helplessly beside the elevator, while a well-dressed woman in a red suit pointed at him furiously. If you don't leave this premises now, I will call security. This is not a market square, the woman barked. The old man smiled gently, not offended. Mwam. I came to see my son. I forgot my phone at home, so I couldn't call him. Please, let me wait for a while. Wait where? Is your son a cleaner here? She snapped, crossing her arms. This is a top company, not for beggars. Chimamanda's chest tightened. Something in her stirred. She knew this wasn't her business, but the scent disgusted her. The receptionist looked away in discomfort. A few staff passed and whispered, but no one did anything. Without thinking, Chimamanda marched forward. Excuse me, ma'am. She said politely, but firmly, this man is someone's father. You don't speak to elders like that. Biko, show some respect. The manager turned and glanced at her. Who are you? Do you work here? I'm here for an interview, Chimamanda said, trying to keep calm. But that doesn't mean I will stand and watch someone insult an old man. You can correct without disgrace. The old man chuckled softly. Thank you, my daughter. May your days be long. The woman hissed and stormed off into the elevator, leaving behind whispers and raised eyebrows. Chimamanda turned to the old man. Sir, are you okay? Would you like me to help you sit at the reception while you wait for your son? He nodded, and she gently helped him to a chair. He smiled at her with eyes full of gratitude. Chimamanda, right? He asked. She froze. Yes, sir. How did you know? He tapped his temple. When you helped me, you dropped your file. I saw your name. She blushed. Thank you, sir. Sorry about all that. He nodded. You will do just fine. Moments later, her name was called. Miss Chimamanda Nwokoye, please proceed to the 10th floor for your interview. She wiped her palms and entered the elevator. The 10th floor oozed power and wealth, glass words, high-end furniture, and men in suits. Her heart pounded as she was ushered into a large boardroom. At the far end of the table sat a tall, fine man in a chocolate suit, Obinna Ezenochie, the CEO of Blossy himself. The panel of executives beside him seemed cold, but his eyes warmed as they fell on her. Before she could greet, he smiled and said, Miss Chimamanda, I see you've already met my father this morning. Her legs almost buckled. Sir? Obinna chuckled. The old man you defended downstairs, that's my father. And everything you said, I watched it on the CCTV. She turned pale. My father doesn't visit often. Today he came unannounced. and it seems the day he does is the day we met you. He stood up, walked over, and extended his hand. I've already made my decision, but let's hear you first, just to make it official. She shook his head, stunned. And in that moment, she didn't realize it yet. But her life and heart had just walked into the center of Blozy Global and into Obinna Ezenochie's soul. Chimamanda couldn't stop sweating, even though the air conditioner hummed gently in the background. Her palms were wet as she faced the interview panel at Blozy Global Enterprises. But Obinna Ezenochie, the CEO, looked at her like she was the only person in the room. She managed to answer all their questions. Her confidence returned the moment she reminded herself, I didn't come here by mistake. I deserve to be here. When the interview ended, Obinna stood up again, this time with no formality. Gentlemen, I think we've all seen enough. Miss Mokoye, welcome to Blozy Global. You are hired as the new executive strategy analyst. Chimamanda gasped. Sir? Just like that? He smiled. Just like that. The panel members exchanged glances, clearly surprised, but no one dared question him. Obinna was known to be straight but fair, and when he made a decision, that was it. She bowed slightly. Thank you so much, sir. I won't disappoint you. I know you won't, he replied, his eyes locking with her for a brief moment longer than necessary. Downstairs, as Chimamanda collected her ID and employment paper, the semi-arrogant manager in red, Ngozi Ilochukwu, walked past and coughed. Oh, they've started hiring people who fight for Agbali old man now. She muttered loud enough for Chimamanda to hear. Chimamanda turned but smiled. I would rather be known for defending elders than insulting them. Ngozi hissed. Let's see how long you last in this company. You think this place is for saints? But just as Ngozi turns to walk away, a voice boomed from behind. Ngozi, she froze. Obinna descended from the elevator with two security guards and his father beside him. The entire reception area fell silent. Yes, sir, Ngozi said, trying to look innocent. Obinna walked straight to her. You know my father? He asked coldly. She stuttered. I didn't know he was. That is the problem. You don't need to know who people are before you treat them with dignity. You embarrassed him. You embarrassed my family. Sir, please. You are suspended for 2 months without pay. And when you return, you will be on a performance watch. One more report of arrogancy or misconduct and you are out. Ngozi's mouth dropped. Suspended? Sir, but Obinna raised his hand. Don't make me change that to termination. She went silent, eyes filled with disbelief and shame. Obinna turns to his father. Dad, you good? The old man smiled and patted Chimamanda's back. I'm more than good. This girl is a blessing to your company. Obinna looked at Chimamanda again. Yes, she is. That night, Chimamanda sat in her small apartment, staring at her employment letter. She hadn't even spent a full day at Blozy and yet her life had changed. She picked up her phone to call her mother. As the phone rang, a text message buzzed in from an unknown number. Hi Chimamanda, it's Obinna. Hope you got home safe. Would love to have coffee sometimes if you are comfortable. No pressure, just admiration. She stared at the message, heart pounding. Could this be real? Was the CEO of one of the biggest companies in Nigeria interested in her? She didn't reply immediately, but she smiled, and that smile said everything. 2 weeks back, Chimamanda Nwokoye has settled into her new role at Blozy Global Enterprises, and despite being one of the youngest employers, her brilliance had begun to speak for itself. But her success came with a silent storm. Whispered followed her in hallways, side eyes, fake smiles, and at the center of it was Ngozi Ilochukwu, the arrogant manager who had returned from suspension with bitterness boiling in her chest. You think you are special because the CEO smiles at you? Ngozi muttered one afternoon near the break room. You are just a pretty face from Osaka. Enjoy it while it lasts. Chimamanda ignored her. She had bigger things to focus on, like the man who had been testing her every night, Obinna Ezenochie. Their conversation were soft, respectful, and full of laughter, but he never crossed boundaries. He respected her space, but it was clear he was falling for her. And then, one Friday evening, everything changed. She was called into a private meeting by Chief Ezenochie, Obinna's father. My daughter, he said warmly as she entered the office. Chimamanda smiled. Good evening, sir. He offered her a seat. I won't waste your time. I've been observing you closely since the day you stood up for me. You are not just intelligent. You have character. Thank you, sir. He leaned forward, eyes sparkling. I have spoken to Obinna, and I told him, if you don't marry that girl, then you don't know what treasure is. Chimamanda nearly choked. Sir, marry me? Chief laughed. Yes, my dear. I've seen women come and go from this company, but you are different. Obinna listens to you. He respects you. You calm him, and my spirit agrees with you. She stared at him, lost for words. I won't force you, he continued, but think about it. I'm not just asking you to be my son's wife. I'm asking you to be my daughter. Later that evening, as she stood outside the company building, Obinna pulled up beside her in his black Lexus. You look like you just saw a ghost, he joked, rolling down the window. Your father wants us to get married, she blurted out. Obinna paused, then smiled. He told you? She nodded. Why would he even say that? Obinna got down from the car. He came close, his voice low. Because he sees what I see, Chimamanda. She felt her breath catch. I didn't plan to fall for you, he said. But every time you speak, every time you laugh, even the way you walk, my heart moves. You make me better. Obinna, people already think I'm here because of you, she whispered. Let them think what they want, he said. I want you, not just in my office, but in my life. She swallowed hard, emotions flooding. I need time, she whispered. He smiled. Take all the time you need. Just don't take my heart with you when you go. But unknown to both of them, Ngozi had overheard the conversation, and she wasn't about to let a village girl from Osaka take the CEO, the spotlight, or the crown she had been eyeing for years. She picked up her phone and dialed the number. She's getting too close, she hissed. We need to act now, before he proposes. 2 weeks later, work at Blozy had become tense, not for Chimamanda, but for those who couldn't understand how she rose so fast. She didn't flaunt her connection to Obinna. She didn't dress seductively or gossip. She simply walked with grace and brilliance. But in the shadows, Ngozi Ilochukwu watched, sighted and planned. And soon she struck. Tuesday, 8:45 a.m. Chimamanda walked into the boardroom for a strategy review meeting. On the screen was a sensitive presentation she had never seen before. Blozy expansion budget, confidential figures, board level strategies. People turned to stare at her. "Why is your name on the document?" asked Mr. Uchenna, the chief financial officer. "My name?" Chimamanda blinked. "Sir, I have never seen this file." Uchenna frowned. "Your login ID was used to download and link this file to a private competitor's email yesterday at 1:17 a.m. The air in the room turned heavy. Chimamanda's hands began to tremble. "Sir, I didn't," she started. But Obinna walked in just then. He looked around the tensed room. "What is going on?" Uchenna stood. "It appears your whatever has linked our confidential expansion file to a rival company." Obinna's eyes locked on Chimamanda's. "What?" "I swear to God, Obinna, I didn't do it," she whispered, her voice cracking. That night, Chimamanda sat alone in her apartment, tears running down her cheeks. Her system has been hacked. Her name dragged in meetings. Suspicion now surrounded her like smoke. A knock came at her door. She opened it and found Obinna standing there, holding a tablet. "I didn't believe it," he said softly, "but I had to be sure." He handed her the tablet. It was CCTV footage. A blurry figure in a red jacket entered the IT office the night before and tampered with the network server. Chimamanda's eyes widened. "That is Ngozi's jacket. She wears it every Tuesday." Obinna nodded. "She cloned your login, planted the files, then reported it." "But why?" "Because my father wants me to marry you, and she's always wanted that place." Silence fell, but Chimamanda's voice was strong. "Then let her fight me with work, not with lies." The next morning, Blozy HQ. Obinna called an emergency staff meeting. Ngozi strutted in late, wearing the same red jacket. "Good morning, team," Obinna said. "Before we proceed, I would like to play something." He turns to the screen. CCTV footage played. Ngozi inside the IT room, using Chimamanda's login. Dead silence. Ngozi gasped. "That is not me. This is edited. This is..." "It's real," Obinna said coldly. "You are hereby suspended indefinitely pending full investigation. Legal will reach out." The entire room burst into whispers as security led her out. After the meeting, Chimamanda was walking back to her office when Obinna appeared beside her. "I told my father," he said. "Told him what?" "That I'm not marrying you because he asked me to." She froze. "I'm marrying you because I've fallen in love with you." Her breath caught. He leaned in. "I know this is fast. I know you've been hurt, but I want you, not just as an employee, not just as a partner in the office, but in life." She stood silent for a moment, then whispered, "You are serious?" He smiled, dead serious. But unknown to them both, Ngozi wasn't done. She had one final card left, and it was buried deep in Obinna's past. A secret so dark, it could destroy everything. It was the traditional wedding of Obinna Ezenochie, CEO of Blozy Global, and Chimamanda Nwokoye, the village girl who once came for an interview with dust on her feet and walked out with a man's heart in her hands. But the road to that altar had been anything but smooth. 3 months earlier, Ngozi had vanished after her disgraceful exit, but not for long. She returned in secret, not to work but to destroy Obinna. She had teamed up with Amobi, an ex-business partner of Obinna who had been fired years ago for embezzlement. Together, they dug up an old scandal, a loan Obinna's late uncle took under the company's name, which was never repaid. On paper, it made it look like Obinna had covered it up. The news hit the blogs like wildfire. CEO of Blozy Incorporate covers up. They both panicked. Investors pulled out. Chimamanda wept. But Obinna didn't shake. Instead, he took Chimamanda's hand, faced the press, and told the truth. Yes, my uncle used company's money. Yes, it was hidden, but I found it out and began repairing it quietly. Not to hide it, but to protect my family name. He looked straight into the cameras. I have nothing to hide, and I have someone beside me who gives me strength. Her name is Chimamanda, and I will marry her, with or without Blozy. That moment turned the tide. People began to support him. The board saw his integrity. Investors returned. As for Ngozi and Amobi, they were arrested for cyber theft and blackmail. Obinna refused to press further charges. Let them go, he told Chimamanda. We've already won. Back to the wedding, Chief Ezenuche stood tall with a walking stick carved from ivory. He watched Chimamanda dance out wearing red coral beads, her smile shining brighter than the gold in her George wrapper. My daughter, he whispered to his friend beside him. Do you see why I insisted? I saw it in her eyes. She was born for this family. Obinna couldn't take his eyes off her when she finally stood beside him. He leaned close. You still think you don't deserve this? He tensed. She laughed softly. I think I deserve everything now, including you. That night, under the stars of Enugu, they danced as husband and wife. No scandals, no sabotage, just love. And as the music soared, Chimamanda leaned on his chest and whispered, if that day I hadn't defended your father. Obinna smiled. The stars would have found another way to bring us together. The end. In addition, kindness is never wasted. Chimamanda's simply acts of defending an old man opened the door to her destiny. One moment of compassion can change your entire life. Character speaks louder than credentials. In a world that values appearance, I titled, Chimamanda's integrity, humility, and courage earned her more respect than a decorated resume ever could. Jealousy destroys from within. Ngozi's envy blinded her to her own talents and led her down a path of self-destruction. Competing by bringing others down only leads to your own fall. True love sees beyond status. Obinna fell in love without Chimamanda's background, but with her heart. Real love isn't based on position or power. It's built on values. Stand for what is right, even if you stand alone. Whether in the face of humiliation, false accusations, or betrayal, Chimamanda never compromised her truth. That strength became her shield. Destiny favors the bold. Sometimes, the journey to greatness begins with just one brave step. Chimamanda took hers the day she walked into Blozy. Hi besties, thank you for watching this story. I truly appreciate your time and support. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you've not done so by now. Until I bring another story your way. Bye for now.